I'm old school, I'm old school, I'm old school. That mean I got that old bread. Adidas tracksuit, top to change mopeds. Fruits of my labor that I rocked as a youth. I'm old school, I'm old school.
What's up, guys? This is the Eric Barber here, and today I'm joined with Detroit hip-hop legend Ronnie Euro, aka Phat Kat.
What up, what up, what up? What up, what up?
How you doing today, man?
Oh, man, I'm good. Just chilling, staying warm, staying out the way, as usual.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It's kind of nippy day in Detroit, Michigan right now. Yeah, so let's go ahead and hop right into the interview. Phat Kat, if you want to introduce yourself real quick for viewers who may not be initiated.
Man, Phat Kat, a.k.a. Ronnie Euro, Detroit representative. Been doing music since 1992 till today. World traveler, marijuana connoisseur.
That's big.
I mean, let's get into it, man. If you don't know, then you will.
Yeah, right. Let's hop into it, man. I mean, first, one of the more interesting things about you is that you are the world traveler, right? Because I do see you go to Europe very frequently, right, for these tours, these European tours. And I've often been told, right, that like some countries in Europe like Detroit hip hop maybe more than Detroit, right?
Definitely. I mean, you'd be surprised, man. Like, people in Europe, like, gravitate towards Detroit hip-hop more than y'all can imagine, man. It's phenomenal.
Right. And, I've had some theories on that, but, you probably have a better insight into it. I know that, like, a lot of Europeans really like techno, right? And, a lot of, like, historically Detroit created techno, and there's just a lot of techno influences in Detroit hip hop.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, techno and Detroit hip hop like just like hand in hand when you come to Europe. So, and then like when it comes to like hip hop, like Europeans really do their homework. So
Yeah.
it's like they study, like really study more so than people from America do.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And when you say that you've been, making music since 1992, how did that sort of start for you?
I mean, it started as a hobby. I mean, I always was into music, from school, and I was in I had creative writing classes. I used to won awards for creative writing, and when I was in school, and when hip hop came, it just was hand in hand. So went to the Fresh Fest for an 8th grade birthday gift.
Yeah.
And after that, it was done. I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. So I incorporated my writing into, musical style. So that's how it all came about.
Right. And for you, really, how would you best describe your evolution as an artist over the last, 30 or so years?
Man, I mean, well, technology played a big part in the evolution of hip hop, and it just seeing it just transcend, man. It happened really quick, but yeah, man, it's a good thing, and I'm just glad that I was a part to see it from the beginning to now. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's all good.
Right. Nice. And, when I typically see your name with other artists, right, the two most common names that I'm seeing with you right now, and it makes sense because you guys all tour together, are going to be Guilty Simpson and Elzhi, right?
Yeah.
And could you touch on your relationship with them real quick?
Yeah, I mean, those are my bros, man. I mean, been knowing them for years, man. And like Guilt and L, man, those are like my brothers from another mother, man. So it only makes sense that we, create music together and tour together. So it's no brainer.
Sure. And could you touch on how you met each of them?
Yeah. Well, I met Guilt off the hip hop scene in Detroit, and then we really connected through Dilla. And then I met Elzhi back at the hip hop shop.
Yeah.
and we always, had a camaraderie since then. And then, he got with Slum, and, we got closer, and we just been friends ever since.
No doubt. And someone that I've just been seeing on a lot of your old discography that I just would not traditionally associate with you for whatever reason. But I love that you guys have so much work together. It's Fat Ray, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's my little bro, man. I mean, that's my little bro right there. And even like Fat Ray is one of the coldest MCs.
No doubt.
Right now that's been doing it for a while too. So, I mean, that's my little bro right there.
Okay. Nice. And I noticed that, you've still had a very consistent output of music over, this whole time frame, with even releasing some stuff last year, right? Yeah. What do you really attribute that level of output towards?
I mean, just long as I'm always getting production from all over the world. So, I mean, I just do what the beat tells me. So if you send a beat and if it's dope, I'll record it. So, you know what I mean? And that keeps me touring and just staying relevant, and catering to my fan base. So I just like to keep putting out music that, cater to my fan base. And that's what I do.
For sure. And, when it comes to a good beat for you, what do you look for?
I don't really look for anything. You know what I mean? I just go off of the feeling. So if the beat, feels right to me, and, I rock it. So it's not like I'm sitting around like, hey, well, I want a beat like this or like that. It's never that. And then like when certain producers would send me stuff and be like, yo, man, I made this, man. And I was, it sounded like a Phat Kat beat. And I'd be like, what's a Phat Kat beat? You know what I mean? So, I mean, if it's just send the stuff, and if it's dope, I rock with it. So,
yeah, man, no doubt. I like that framework. And I do got to ask, like, do you feel like, ever since Dilla's passing, do you feel like, no one's really been able to necessarily match up to his level of artistry in that regard? I mean,
Dilla is his own entity, so you can't really. Everybody, I put it like this: nobody can do what anybody else does. So I never try to, compare other producers to Dilla or anybody. If I just go off the producer, like a producer that I rock with in the UK, Agor, man. He's dope in his own right, man. And I mean, I've been rocking with him since he was a teenager, and I met him when I was on tour in Europe, and we've been rocking ever since. So he done a lot of production in the recent years for me. So he's like one of my go-to guys now. So I never really try to compare producers like to Dilla, because I mean, Dilla is a whole nother thing. So, but everybody's dope in their own right. So I just go about, choosing beats and picking, beats that I use from what I hear. So I never try to compare other people to Dilla. So, I mean, you can't.
Yeah, dude, no doubt about it. I agree for sure. And, speaking of Dilla, I was reading Dilla Time, and something that was kind of interesting that I read was right in the moment of the passing of Proof and Dilla, it was kind of like a chapter closing in Detroit hip hop, and kind of like the next era, right? And we kind of looking at Detroit hip hop now. Like when people think of it, they're thinking of like Sada Baby, Ice Revezo, all that other stuff, while like Slum Village, Guilty, yourself are still active, right? What do you think about that comparison? And do you think like it's accurate about the the closing of any kind of chapter?
Nah, man. I mean, long as people are still active and still making music, there's never really a closing of the chapter, because I mean, we still carrying the torch. You know what I mean? From Dilla and Proof, you know what I'm saying, to other MCs that's not here. So, I mean, everybody got their own little chamber. So as long as, we here creating, I mean, it's still gonna be here. You know what I mean? And it's dope what, Sada Baby and Vezo and all them guys are doing, man. I love to see what they're doing, man. That's dope as fuck to me. You know what I mean? Sure. So yeah, shout out to them.
I think we got to hear you on a couple tracks with some of these big dudes.
I mean, I ain't hard to find. You know what I mean? So holla at me. We get it done.
Let's make something happen. Let's do it. And you've definitely had a long, definitely very impactful career. Who do you feel like, if anyone, was like were there any MCs in the space that you felt like were particularly competitive with you, or that you would be competitive with?
I mean, I've never really looked at like music. Like when I make music, I never look at it like, a competition. You know what I'm saying? Because I got tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? When I'm doing what I do, you know what I mean? Because I know can't nobody do what I do better than me. And the same as the, next artist. So I just focus on me, man. And I just, love to see other people find their lane and ride their lane. You know what I mean? So I never really look at nothing as like I'm in competition with nobody. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. That's a good way to think about it. And is there if there's any artists that you're particularly listening to right now?
Man, I listen to everything. So, I mean, from Fela to, I listen to a lot of different kind of music. And I listen to a lot of European stuff too. And man, you guys would be surprised of the skill level that them guys in Europe is come. They like on some whole other shit over there. So I listen to a lot of guys in Europe, like my brother Fly Hooligan. He's crazy. I like the new Elzhi album. That's crazy. The Sada Baby, his joint. I listen to his stuff. I listen to a lot of stuff, man. Zoe and Tall Black Guy. Listen to they new shit. I mean, my chambers of music, man, is vast. So it's not like one genre of music that I listen to. I listen to all kind of shit.
No doubt. And either when you started or historically, who have been your biggest inspirations?
Man, I get my inspiration from a lot of different places, man. But when I first started, man, I was a Eric B. and Rakim fan, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, the Fat Boys, Heavy D, NWA, King T. Man, there was so many, man. I can sit here and just name all kind of Slick Rick. I mean, it was just so many artists that I, got inspiration from, when I was coming up. But a lot of those guys just, that I picked, Special Ed. Yeah. I mean, it's so many, man. So, yeah, I kind of got my inspiration from a lot of those guys.
Great. And where's the name Phat Kat come from?
Well, I grew up on the east side, man. Mac and Gray, over in that area, you know what I mean? So I had this car, like this old hoopty that had like some bumping sounds in it. And it always used to break down back in the day. And I used to have to go and get it fixed all the damn time. And the mechanic, it was a auto place where I used to go get it fixed at on Chalmers and Charlevoix. Oh, wow. And I used to take my car there all the time to get it fixed. And the owner of the shop, he used to always wonder, like, man, how's this little young ass kid always have money to pay for this damn car to get fixed? So he was like, man, next time you come back up, I'm going to have a name for you or whatever. Lo and behold, my car broke down, took it up there, and he was like, I got a name. I'm going to call you Phat Kat. And it just stuck, man. And everybody's just been calling me Phat Kat ever since. So
that's dope.
Where Phat Kat came from.
It works. I like it. Well, obviously, it's been working, right? Yeah.
And the whole Ronnie Euro thing, that came from Europe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a lot of people in Europe, they call me Ronnie Euro because I switched to the Ronnie Cash, and then in Europe, people call me Ronnie Euro or what is it? What they say? Ronnie Euro or Ronnie Sterling. You know what I mean? It's all kind of different monikers that they El Gato or Gordo. It's all kind of names they call me in Europe, man. So yeah.
Okay, that's dope. And this is something else. Speaking of Europe, man. Um, I think you guys kind of paved the way a little bit for a lot of Detroit artists because even a lot of like guys that are a little bit more up and coming, they'll be like, my goal is to get a European tour, all this kind of stuff,
It'll change your life, man. You'll come back and just look at the world, man, in a whole different light, man. It's more than just Detroit. I mean, it's a whole fucking world out here. And I think everybody should travel, man. You got to travel to broaden your way of thinking and your horizons, man. So, man, Europe is some whole other shit. So,
no doubt about it. No doubt. And it's interesting how you mentioned, the other places outside Detroit, right? And I noticed that too. I mean, even on a smaller level, even smaller towns kind of have their own like hip hop scene, stuff like that. Are there any hip hop scenes of note that people should be paying attention to?
Yeah, definitely. Cats in Paris get busy. The UK get busy. Germany, they get busy over there. Africa, they get busy. Switzerland get busy. I mean, you name it, man. Portugal, they get busy over there. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's nutty. And they're all, when you're talking about, because Portugal, their primary language Portuguese. Are you talking about a lot of these rappers are rapping in English or their native tongue?
Well, we the stupid Americans because a lot of us only know one damn language. I mean, over there, the average person know 2 to 3 different languages. So yeah, man, they know how to flip that shit in American and in different languages. So like we got to catch up.
Right. And which project of yours are you most proud of?
Man, Carte Blanche, man. I was really proud of Carte Blanche because that was the first time that that's why I called it Carte Blanche because, what Carte Blanche mean, you get to do shit how you want to do it. And that's why I'm so proud of that project because I was in control of it from the beginning to the end, from the production to the MCs I wanted on there. And if you look back at that project, it was all Detroit. You know what I mean? I had Black Milk on the production, Nick Speed, Dilla, Kareem Riggins. It was all Detroit, man. It was all Detroit. Young RJ, all Detroit MCs. It was crazy, man. Carte Blanche was that jump off for me, you know what I'm saying? And it had Cold Steel on there, and that's like that was a huge record for me, and yeah, man.
No doubt. I mean, Cold Steel, I mean, for me, just hearing you play, I've heard you play it live a couple times at when you open up for Jizza back in the and the Raising the Flag L Club.
Oh yeah, the L Club.
Yeah, man, that was sweet. For you was Cold Steel. I mean, that song is just so iconic. How did you really come up with your flow and your lyricism for that?
Like I said, man, the beat, man, that was a Dilla beat. Yep. And I don't know if you know or not, but a lot of Dilla records that I recorded, he never really liked for me to rap on like stuff that was on beat tapes because he was like, nah, man, just write to it, man. I'm gonna make your shit from scratch because he used to always like to make my music like right on the spot just for the shock value. And that was the first beat that I was ever able to rap to that was on a beat tape because, I had the beat tape and I hit him back and was like, you know what I'm saying, what's up with that? He was like, man, pick whatever you want to on there. And he's like, man, just do what you're going to do. And Cold Steel was one of the joints. And it's crazy because Guilt wanted that beat.
No way.
Yeah.
You put him on.
Well, I had already recorded and Guilt heard it and Dilla told him like, Cat already got that beat. So yeah.
You could put him on as a feature. Like, L is a feature.
Yeah, L did a feature on there, but y'all know me. We probably do a remix or something and throw Guilt on there, man.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, man. I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm into it, man. And you and Dilla have such a extended history. I feel like people who aren't super fans just don't know all the intricacies. Like, how did you guys even come around to meeting? I know you guys had a duo for a little while.
Yeah, I met Dilla and Slum and everybody at this spot called the Rhythm Kitchen. Mm-hmm. And the Rhythm Kitchen was a Chinese food restaurant where it was an open mic on Tuesdays that Proof used to host.
Okay.
And I went there and the open mic, Slum was there, Dilla was there, and went out to his car and he was playing beats. And next thing you know, I went to his house and, we started forming a camaraderie ever since then. And yeah, we just been homies ever since.
Nice. That's dope. And how did your duo necessarily come about?
First Down, he produced Front Street and Day with the Homies, and that was a demo. Mm-hmm. I sent the demo. Well, I was on the east side at this record store called Chansoniques. It was on a Tuesday. I was there. I went to go buy the Gangstar Hard to Earn album. Yep. And lo and behold, Guru and Premier come walking through the door. Oh. And I met them. I was just coming to buy the record, and they actually was there for an in-store. And I was the only one in the store, just me and them. And so I gave them a dap, boom, boom, and was getting ready to leave. And then the owner of the store, she was like, hey, did he tell y'all he rap or whatever? And they was like, what? And it was like, you rap? I'm like, yeah. So you got something we can hear? So I went out to the car and got my cassette.
Oh, shit.
And brought it back. She played it. They was like, damn, this you? I'm like, yeah. And Guru gave me a card and told me to call his number and tell him I'll be sending him a demo. I sent the demo. A week later, I get a call back from the head of A&R from Payday Records. Right after that, they signed us to a deal. And that's how First Down came about. You know what I mean?
Nice. And this is something that is debated a little bit online, so I'm really hoping to get it laid to rest with you. How did you guys how did it end?
What, First Down?
Yeah, First Down, sorry.
Well, Payday signed us to a singles deal.
Yep.
And right after the Front Street came out, the label folded. So, and then Slum was all, it was all this was happening at one time. Slum was starting to blow. And, I was doing my thing. And the label folded. And we never really got to do an album. So that's how that happened. So, we was going to record an album, but it never happened. You know what I mean? So, and that's how the dedication to the Suckers came about. You know what I mean? Because Slum started doing their thing, and I started touring with Slum, opening up for them. And me and Dilla recorded the dedication to the Suckers. And me and House Shoes and Brian Gillespie put that out. And then, that went crazy, and I've been touring, from that. So yeah, that's how First Down. We just never really got to record an album.
I would have been really curious to see, hear it, in its own capacity.
Well, really, dedication to the Suckers. Those was gonna be songs. Right. Those were gonna be songs off of the First Down album. And we was actually going to record a First Down album. You know, we was talking about that before he passed away. So it just never happened.
I hear you. And when it comes to, and this is something else that has just kind of been floating around, people have always been kind of curious, like how like Eminem was such a giant titan in Detroit rap, and you know he was good friends with Proof, but for some reason he just never worked much with like you, Guilty, Dilla, anything like that. You know, with that whole other side of hip hop. Do you have like any reason, like his whole crew, really, any reason why you think?
I mean, we all knew each other, but I mean, that's something you would probably have to ask him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, I was down to rock with anybody. You know what I'm saying? From that era, because we all was from the hip hop shop. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I mean, we all knew each other, so it just never happened. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Do you have any regrets when it comes to any music you've done or anything you've put out?
No, man, I have no regrets about anything that I ever done because everything was meant to happen how it happened. So no regrets.
Got it. And what feature that you've done for someone else that you felt like you were most proud of or like the most fun to work on?
Man, the Dibry feature, that was really fun. You know, the joint with me, Dilla, and Dibry, that was a really dope feature. And there's a lot of stuff in Europe that I've done that people probably never heard. So
sure.
But yeah, definitely the Dibry joint was crazy.
That's hype. I'll have to check it out. I'm not. Yeah, no doubt. And you know, this is something.
Oh, that was the name of it.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, how you feeling about the Lions this year?
I mean, we seeing what they doing. So hopefully they win, man. And I want to see Baltimore and Detroit in the Super Bowl. That's what I want to see.
Okay, nice. And I know you're a big Baltimore Ravens guy as well. I know you're there a lot too. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, man, my girl, she's from Baltimore, so I'm in Baltimore pretty often visiting.
Nice, that's cool. And I have talked to some people, and I feel like some people who grew up in Detroit that are older, like a lot of them maybe even forgot that a lot of you guys are even active, right? Like I was talking with someone the other day, and like I didn't know Slum Village was still making music until like, you know, this year. Yeah, right. Do you have any message to put out to people that, you know, might have taken a extended pause on some of your guys' stuff?
I mean, all you got to do is, hey, I ain't hard to find, man. We still doing music. We still touring. And, hey, man, look us up.
Let's go.
We still got bars, man. We still got it.
No doubt. And can we look forward to any music in 2024?
Yes, definitely, man. I'm always working. It's a project that I'm working with. I'm working on actually with this band out of Budapest, with myself, Guilty Simpson and Elzhi, and yeah, we working, man. I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be crazy.
No doubt. Is there any kind of like smaller Detroit artist that you feel like should get a little bit of attention right now?
Man, it's so many, man. Like Cloudy Kid, Elzhi's little brother. Man, I'm having a brain freeze right now, man. It's just so many, man, and I'm horrible with names, but just be on the lookout for a lot of these new up and coming guys. And when I get some stuff, you guys will hear about it.
Awesome. I love it. And do you got any kind of final message for anyone that may be watching the show?
Yeah, man. Tune in, man. Stay tuned, man. Detroit is doing it, man. Shout out to everybody in Detroit that's making moves and making music, man. From the east side to the west side. Let's just keep pushing. Let's just keep pushing, man. Let's do it. Holla at me.
Well, all right, guys. That's Phat Kat, a.k.a. Ronnie Euro. Man, I really appreciate your time,
Man,
bro.
my pleasure, my pleasure, my
For
pleasure.
sure. For sure. Check out all of his stuff down in the description below. Peace out, everybody.